It's Friday the 19th of May 2023 and today we're saying goodbye to an old friend. After 47 years of service, we're saying goodbye to the PEPs or the Class 313s. Nostalgia's a little bit of a funny thing really, because yeah, it's a 313. It's not a steam loco, it's not a diesel loco, it's a run-of-the-mill unit. It's not particularly exciting. But like I say, nostalgia's a funny thing. Showing my age, I remember growing up in Eastbourne, slam door stock, 421s, SIGs, VEPs, SEPs, over on the Eastern. I remember 205s, 207 thumpers doing the rounds. I remember hearing them in the mornings starting up and roaring. I remember going to school on a slam door train. Do you know what? I could not wait to see the back of them. When the 377s come out, I was so excited. I remember my mum had a Polaroid camera and they were testing the 377s. And they come for about 10-15 minutes after I finished school, and I run home, grab the Polaroid camera, run to Willingdon Trees level crossing and took a picture. Unfortunately, I don't still have that picture. It was great. New traction, power door stock, fantastic brand new stock. Old train's gone, brilliant, comfy rides. But you know what? I'd absolutely love to see a 205 or a 207 going up and down my local line. I'd absolutely love to see a 4 SIG again and ride on one and have that nostalgia. So that's why I'm here filming the 313s today, because at the moment I'm a little bit indifferent. It's a 313, but you know what, in 20 years time I might actually miss them. So I was born in the late 80s, so I kind of don't remember the glory days of BR Blue and that sort of thing. My sort of railway interests were just a sort of privatisation was kicking in. I remember the old Network South East livery, the old Jaffa Cake livery as well, being down in the south. One of my earliest memories of trains was seeing a Class 47 parked up on a ballast, a T3 site near to where I lived. And I remember I stood next to the railway track for hours and hours and hours just waiting for this thing to move. Coming from the southeast, Eastbourne in particular, down that way, we didn't see locos, we didn't see freight traffic. Sad thing is, I never did see it move. But I do remember a couple of years later, when I was growing up, and I was allowed a bit of freedom. I was allowed to go out on my own. And I went over to Brighton one day on the train. You know, whoopee-doo, I'm 11, 12, 13. Different times, you could go out when you were younger. Over on Brighton to the train, £6 return for an adult, £3 return for a child, Hampden Park to Brighton. I know, try charging that today. Got over there, what have you got? In the platform, Virgin Class 47, cross-country service. You've got 319s. You've got stock galore that I've never seen before. So, being young, wanting to go and ride some different trains, I remember getting on a 319 Connex Express. I think it was Brighton to Victoria in 49 minutes. Only stop East Croydon. Getting on that, only had a ticket Eastbourne to Brighton. Riding the 319 all the way up to Victoria. Sorry, Dad, if you're watching. I remember the conductor coming through. Used to be a bit braver in them days, just used to blag things. Oh, sorry, I got on the wrong train. Is this not going to Eastbourne? All those kind of naive excuses. All those excuses that years later, as a member of railway staff, I know the staff have heard 100 times and I know they're not believing a word. But it doesn't matter. I got a ride on a 319 all the same, which then was a big deal for me. I remember a couple of years later, about 14, 15, I was allowed to go to London by train on my own. Oh my goodness, touring London, visiting stations, HSTs, Dibsos out of Liverpool Street, 91s. The scene then was so varied, so fantastic. So many loco hauled, so much freight, so much variety in liveries in that kind of just sort of coming into privatisation, just post-privatisation. The scene in the last 20 years on the railway has changed so much. And so many things that I hold dear, so many things that were nostalgic to me have gone. And like I said earlier, at the time, didn't bother me. Didn't pay any attention to it at all. It was just a train, it was just going, didn't matter, couldn't wait to see the new stuff. I found an old photo album the other day. Photos I took in London on that trip. Photos at Clapham Junction. 73s coming through on Gatwick Express services. 442s on the services down to Portsmouth and Bournemouth or Weymouth or wherever they were going. That was southwestern. I was a southeastern, southern type of guy. 460s coming through on the Gatwick. That's the only footage, only pictures I've got of those services. I haven't got anything else. So with these 313s going, I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. It's true, guys. It may be a train you don't like. It may be something you can't wait to see the back of. But at the end of the day, one day it'll be gone. And you don't know what you've got until it's gone. We've got 313209 for traction. This is my last ride on a 313. For me, the 313 story ends here. But who knows? 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years time. Maybe you'll be sitting there talking to your grandkids, great grandkids. You'll be saying to them, I remember 313s, just as people do now about steam engines such as the Scotsman. Farewell, old friend.